Another attempt. I'm going live first, then I'm going to record on the video, and then the podcast. So, today, let's do this. Red button, and go. Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Well, who'd have thought, who'd have thunk, who'd have realised, who'd have imagined, who'd have researched for, credentialed towards, stumbled upon. That's me. I stumbled upon the Keto 44, what I do here. Should I do the spiel, the Keto 44, quickly? Each and every episode I need to do it because we get one-off people that tune in, click, and they think, shite. Well, let me tell you, this should be the go-to. I don't know how to market it, but it's out there. I've done my effort. I'm doing my effort to get the Keto 44 out there. Keto, let's get most of our calories, 3/4, 80% keto, to make sure we get enough protein, saturated fats, which is code for more cholesterol. We need more cholesterol. There's episodes on cholesterol and hormones and mental health, which cholesterol is good for. Hormones, fertility, performance, and mental health. Then we have the first for the 44. The first for the 44 is to can 4 classes of food: glutens, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oils in a bottle, burnt animal fat, fried food, gone. That's what creates the trans fats, heterocyclic amines and acrylamides in our circulatory system. That gives us our cardiac issue, together with vitamin E deficiency, selenium deficiency, and the like. There's many. Sugars, limiting fruit. You don't want to hear that. That's right, because we don't want to hear it. I probably only have a handful of fruit each and every year, and about 4-5 handfuls of veggies each year. That's it. And nitrates, mainly found in your processed meats: corned beef, salami, ham, spam, all that sort of stuff. All right. So glutens, oils, sugars, nitrates. That's the first for the 44, which we must eliminate. If you're one of those people, moderation, you can't go around limiting food. You must improve your bust. You must. Okay, if you don't do it, you won't be absorbing the micronutrients that you are getting naturally. But there's no natural anymore. We need to supplement, and that's the second for the 44. We need to include the 4 classes of micronutrients: the 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids, and then you'll be right. You'll be fit. You'll be healthy. Live a long time, like me. Yeah. I only started three years ago. The earlier you start, the better propensity towards getting a telegram from King Charles, maybe King William, maybe King George. Hey, they're the next few, coming up. So there you have it. Now that many people think this is full of shite, I don't care. Go. If any of this is starting to resonate, the story of why we got here, why we have record levels of obesity only to get worse, why we have lower life expectancy to get worse. Yes, it's getting worse. Each and every 50 years from now on, just knock off a few years, maybe 5 years, just by picking that trajectory, picking the south direction, is unheard of. Start looking around you in a decade or two. Less and less people living 70 and beyond. Okay? I've got whole episodes on how we came here with weight management, obesity, chronic disease. I'm not allowed to say cancer anymore. It's actually against the law to suggest that you can avoid cancer. Never mind the nitrites, or smoking. Sitting is the new smoking. No, nitrites. That's the new carcinogen in town. You can't even really say that. But there you go. So ever since electricity started on the planet, September 4, Monday, September 4, 1882 in New York, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge. That's when Thomas Edison flicked the switch to the first 60 customers of commercial customers for electricity. And in a decade or two, the world was electrified. And that was the change of our health profile. Before, we were suffering from old-time diseases like pellagra and scurvy and oh boy, what's some of the other old-timers? Rickets, those type of diseases. Those diseases are still around, and we name them other things. Yeah, it's asinine. So, stories you clicked on today, 7th minute, and I only started to talk about today why you clicked on me on this episode, not just for me. I have my health story. Part of the Keto 44 is a health story, how I stumble upon pretty much what we need to do, and that's why I am very, very fit, very healthy. Don't even try and be fit and healthy, but I just am, because I'm doing the Keto 44. It's so easy. I can't imagine putting any more passion, emotion, and story onto how to persuade, encourage, force. Yeah. I wish I could force people into it. They'd just think, oh, thank you for fixing me up. So pretty much halved my body weight. Got rid of half a dozen chronic diseases, dental issues, orthopedic, osteoporosis, osteo issues, gastric issues. There was a lot happening, and I was only looking at living another 15 years, looking at the stats. So I like to think that, I don't like to think, I know I've increased my lifespan and my health span and my lifespan by decades. Never mind what we're living to. It's our health span. Where we're starting to suffer chronic disease, it's reaching our 40s now. A terrible state of affairs, and here it is, the Keto 44. So my story, I stumbled upon a podcast September 2020, and here I am today, fit as a fiddle, fit as a mallee bowl. What other allegory? No, not allegory. Anyway, that we use for fitness. 50 years old. I was 40 fat and fired. Now I'm 50 fit and, I wish I could say filthy rich, but nah. I'd rather be fit and healthy versus filthy rich. But usually when you're fit and healthy, filthy rich can come. So I've also made bets out there. I've got my concierge health advisor service where you'll need to pay to be watched like a hawk, because most people don't get it. And if you want a story of your own, look me up. But part of my story, September 2020, I listened to a podcast with Doc Joel Wallach. It wasn't even a profound podcast, but it got me going. I got onto the internet, ordered the stuff. Within days, unbelievable, straight away, the results were coming. Stories. Health as a whole has all these individual stories. How I got fit and healthy. That was mine. And this is part of mine, the Keto 44. We've got the fitness influencers. We've got the people that try different powders and potions and pills and powders, potions, pills. I want all that, but they're the real deal. The micronutrients that we all require. Our dog, cat, fish, fish and goldfish, giraffe, crocodile, lizard, bird, everything. Vertebrates need 90 essential micronutrients per body weight. If you're 50 kilos, you'll need half as much as a 100 kilo person. I couldn't afford 3 people's worth. I only went to about 1.5, and it still assisted me. And now I'm on pretty much 2. 2 doses, what longevity suggests that we require. And this is why I look fit and healthy without being an athlete. Yes, I've disclosed I've been going to the gym for 6 months. I think it's 6 months now, and I started going 10 minutes, quickly went to 15 minutes in the second month, and then third month, fourth month, 20 minutes. And that's all I do, because I don't want to work out. I'd be looking like this, pretty much like this, even if I didn't spend those 6 months in the gym. Yes, not everybody will respond like myself, but you will respond. You will address all your health woes, your weight woes. Let's face it, most of us will try stuff for our vanity, and that was my trick. And after 8,500 hours-ish, that's what I stumbled upon, and I spent another 4,000 to 5,000 hours trying to prove myself wrong, and I'm still trying to break what I'm doing in the Keto 44. I've even, in the last year, more than a year now, stopped all oral health care as we know it. No more brushing teeth, no more flossing, no more checkups. Apart from 31 years ago, there was a back molar that, that's very close to the nerve. You'll need root canal surgery, or root canal done soon. So 31 years later, about a month back, they pulled it out because hit the nerve, didn't it? Hit the nerve. Thank you so much, allopathic medicine, the mainstream medical model. Saved me from heaps of more pain. Had to pay something like $500. Like, what? So, and that's what we pay. We pay thousands a year on health insurance, plus all the gaps connected to that, private health cover, and public health. 6 minutes, $200. That's what it's costing the taxpayer. We can avoid all that. If you got ongoing chronic medical issues and diseases and the like, autoimmune disease, micronutrients, okay? So that's pretty much my story. It was a stumbling upon thing where I was even researching general scientific health stuff. What can I do to get away from dying in 1.5 decades at the age of 47? And that story continues until this day, and it's effortless. It's effortless. I don't know how to drum it in to people. But you're different. Oh boy. I'm just going to see. I'm going to see if I got a photo of myself on this bloody phone. My main source is hanging up there. Let's see this. Oh boy. I can't navigate this phone because it's shite. Sorry to the podcast people while I have a bit of dead air, which is yes, here is haven't got the photos that live on that, but here's one photo that may have been quite close to my fattest. To the live people, that's me, right? That's the other one, only photo I got that I have at this moment. Do I have anything which looks a bit more like me without a beard? Sorry for the dead air. Oh, I do. Here's another one. Looks a bit more like myself. So that was me when I, pretty much a month out. That was, but let's just say August of 2020. Absolute shocker, wasn't it? So there you go. Not too much willpower. After the first couple of weeks, I started to get it. A few mistakes, but I started to get it, so I thought, I'm really not putting any effort here. Kilo, and by the fourth week, 4 kilos, 3, 2. It was just magic. This is not individual. This is for everybody. All that research I was doing, and I stumbled upon what I'm doing now. Yes, I may sprout the Keto 44, but there's a few more nuances in there that we need to know about. A gold client, yes, they'll have to pay 6 figures. Silver, 5 figures. And the bronze, a little bit less than 5 figures perhaps. But it's free as well. I might still yet supply the world with what we should be doing, with all the nuances that we need to take note of, which include things like digestion, the proper absorption, and the dependable daily supply. Not miss a day. There's no such thing as cheat days and treats. You will need to be antisocial in your social situations. This whole excuse of cakes and desserts after a nice meal out with friends, barbecue, well done meats, lovely fresh bread, a burger, all that sort of shit has to be gone. Has to be. Or you'll just have to continue looking like shit. Even if there's a fitness influencer that may look good, let's see how they are in 10 years. Right, there's a few that look good after 20 years. Good! They are rare. They are very, very rare. And we hear even better stories. People that tell better stories than myself. And because health is very individual, very emotional based, very vanity driven, it's hard to get everybody on the right page. There's no go-to biblical or canon type literature on health and obesity because we're all still stabbing in the dark. Stop stabbing in the dark. One more stab in the dark. Try the Keto 44. The principles the regimen that I suggest. Yes, it's only been about 13,000 hours of some schmuck that preaches his thing. Some people that have seen some of my stuff prior to 5 and 6 months ago, I look the same. Okay. Yes, I've always had my protein intake up. I was always quite sedentary until the last 5 or 6 months. I get fair enough. Yes, and before that, I did lift some iron, but 90 seconds every second day. Come on, 45 seconds a day average. That doesn't even count. Doesn't even count. Okay, the average person working in a, I don't know, a laundry restaurant does heaps more activity than that. You can look like I am being sedentary. 22 minutes, hey, coming up. So usually I start, let's have a look at some news stories. Let's knock these on the head. But I can't do that. Maybe I can. No, this doesn't have reception. So I'll keep on riffing. I will keep on riffing to get people to resonate with, really think about what you're doing with your health. Oh, my auntie did it. She did this and she looks great. She could be looking better. A lot of how people look and feel and what their health is a stab in the dark, is a crapshoot, luck. And the problems that we have with a lot of our health are not ever and will never be genetic. It's always micronutrient deficiencies. If I wasn't taking the micronutrients, I'd be looking like those couple of images that I showed you before. A final leap of faith, perhaps. I'm not going to go down that route of always giving references, and it's not from a reputable journal. It might be something obscure, like the Journal of Rare Earths and things like that. Veterinarian journals, we have a lot to learn from them. Even veterinary science is very allopathic based now. It's just all about pharmaceuticals and surgery, and your pet, your animal has had its day. Look around at the people that treat you in the allopathic medical model, the mainstream healthcare complex, and have a look at their health. Have a look at their wrinkly and saggy skin, balding and grey and insulin resistance all over the place in their face, their abdo area, their hips and thighs. And tell me whether the mainstream healthcare complex is doing us well. It's not. It's not. The US spends more on healthcare than the rest of the world combined, and they're ranking over 40th in longevity stats. And if that doesn't tell you anything, if you can't see what that means, you don't even deserve to have this slap in your face, because that's really saying something. And then you get the people that'll say it's their health choices. You know, we're catching up in Australia, in Europe, anywhere. We are catching up to the US because the US had a head start with all their infrastructure, their electricity producing dams, their hydroelectric dams. And that's part of, yes, and the whole world, our food supply chain across the whole world is fairly linked, but the US still had a head start. It's not the US getting worse. We're going to catch up to the US. Blue zones. I've had heaps of blue zone discussion about the Okinawas, the Mediterraneans, the Hunzas, even that is it 7-day Adventist crowd, or was it Mormons? Anyway, you need to be vegan in that crowd, but I think they take micronutrients. I'm not even sure if it's part of the longevity or not. Even in the longevity space, people aren't doing keto 44. They just take the micronutrients, and they think of miracles. It is a miracle if you do the keto 44, as I suggest. It's not too far different from what Dr. Wallach suggests, that he should have won 6 Nobel Peace Prizes by himself. Yes, my story looks fairly miraculous from the transformation pictures, or the picture that you see in front of you now, and from what I showed you earlier. No more chronic health issues. I'm using myself as a guinea pig, further to my story, where protein guinea pig things, and yes, no more brushing my teeth. For a year now, no more brushing my teeth, no flossing, or yes, I had a tooth pulled. That's a 31-year legacy. I've explained. Increase salt intake, increase saturated fat. Did you know that 50% of my macro intake, protein, fats, carbohydrate, water, right? 50% of those calories are fat, and I've got a 7%, body fat percentage. How about that? I measured myself yesterday, in fact. 7.69 or 7.63, something like that, in there somewhere. And I used the 7-site Jackson Pollock. Why does that sound like an author of a book? Anyway, stories. We've got these things like vaccine stories, the whole Edward Jenner story. And on that vaccine thing, smallpox eradication, all that sort of thing, measles, major, nearly eradicated. Then we have the scurvy stories, substantiated, that's more substantiated. Then we have thousands of wrong medical theories each and every century, and we are no different in this century. What's one thing in this century, perhaps, where one of those medical theories are bupkis? Was it, hey, I got my go-to live participant. Hey, Lib, how are you? Mental health, antidepressants. There's no direct impact on any chemicals in the brain. A chemical imbalance? Can you measure the chemicals in your brain? No. It just makes people not depressed. We can't even quantify it, and it's been the go-to for half a century. And that's just a recent sort of thing. There's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands this century, because we have never-ending hypotheses just mounting on top of each other, and the theories can't catch up. There's a replication crisis in science, and that's why we're stabbing in the dark. And that's why my thoughts, my regimen will be poo-pooed. But it'll always be there for whoever, out of faith, because these days it's a leap of faith to just do the Keto 44, eliminate those 4 food categories, 95% of the supermarket, get those micronutrients into you. You might be spending $100 a week, but you're also spending probably $100 less a week on food, maybe even $200 in total if you count all the entertainment expenditure, your Maccas, your grab a chocolate bar past the newsagent, or oh, I can smell some hot chips, I'll go and get some hot chips, all that sort of thing. Gone. Yes, I still smell that sort of stuff. I've got 4 decades of that sort of legacy. I can only smell it, and because I understand what's going on in everybody's health, not just mine, that's why I can just say, see you later, alligator. I'll let some other poor schmuck consume that and die at the average age of 77. And I'll get probably 2 or 3 decades more. Not just in total health, but functional health. Wouldn't you like at the age of 90 to walk up a flight of stairs with your great-granddaughter? How about being 97, carrying a bag of groceries home, driving with your bag of groceries, driving with your Wix shop with your bag of groceries when you're 102? How about what else would you be like to do in your 90s? Anyway, that's just a couple of examples. Because usually when most people reach their 1 in 10 or 12,000 reach 100 years of age, at that vintage, they're probably sitting in their piddle. Haven't been mobile for 7 years, probably got Alzheimer's. You don't want to live like that either. So, getting long in the tooth, and before I degrade even further into today's episode, I'm going to wrap up there. So, everyone has a story. That's my story. A different version with some catchphrases that I often use. Sometimes this unprepared delivery mechanism comes out with wonders. But that was pretty much a staple delivery. I didn't come up with anything. There was a few moments of extra passion, hopefully hitting someone in the head if they listen to this recording in 2031. Who knows? But it's there for the world. It is a miracle. It seems complex with nuance. But once you understand how we got here and how it's going to get worse before it gets better, or ever getting better, take a leap of faith. Right. Red button eyed there. Maybe, just maybe, I'll get 3 listeners and viewers from the 2.1 I've got. Yes, I've reduced from 2.2 to 2.1. All right. Until the next time, is there a clue for another idea, another subject matter to cover? Psychedelics, I did that in a short. Nah. Anyway, surprise, surprise for next time. Until that time, bye-bye. I hit both buttons at the same time, and now for the live people. See you later. Save. Any bonus for the live people? The 0 people. Bonus. No. I should have probably covered that story influences our decisions in any sort of pursuit in our life, and health is just one of them. Maybe I made that point, but anyway, I'm done. Bye-bye. Where's that cross? Hey, bye.